feel, if you're doing a good deed, you're putting in your work, you're doing your due diligence, you should reap a reward for it.
Reap what you sow.
You should reap what you sow.
And the good thing is you're tailor as well, so you're sold a lot.
Hey, exactly.
Hey, Mr. CV. That's enough. Obviously, it's your boy, Mr. CV. I'm back again. I'm back with another one. This time, I've got a very, very special guest with me. Obviously, he's a person I've known for quite a while now. It's amazing to know that he's doing something fantastic, something brilliant, and he's got his own business. We're gonna be speaking about the business all this while, but before that, obviously, it's important that you get to know it. Tell us where you study at.
I studied business marketing with management as well in Oxford Brookes for 3 years.
What inspired you to study business or marketing?
To be honest, when it was time to go to uni, I knew that I had to go to uni first of all. It wasn't even an option to not go to uni. That's how oblivious I was to the whole thing. Like, there was no other option. So I knew I was going, but when the time came for me to start applying, I didn't have any, centralized interest of mine. I knew I wanted to have my own business someday. So I'm not going to waste 3 years doing something that's completely irrelevant. Every business can use marketing. Who doesn't like more clients? Who doesn't like more sales? So marketing, business, it was just a no-brainer for me. It was a safe bet.
People are starting to find other avenues instead of university. But would you change that mindset of university is compulsory, or would you say, you know what, if university is not for you, then you can always look at the other avenues such as entrepreneurship?
Well, I would never say it's compulsory. Only because I know a lot of people who are successful and they didn't go to uni. But I would say it's helpful. It's helpful to developing a work ethic, to understand, the importance of structure. It's a bit of independence. Me, I went to boarding school, so I already had a bit of independence being in boarding school away from my parents. But if you don't have that, university is a lovely opportunity to experience that kind of dynamics.
Let's go into the business. So already, if you can't see the business already, the business is already here. New Shepherd Care. At these tough times that we're in, everyone needs some care.
Of course.
And if we look at the biblical meaning of shepherd as well, it's very important because shepherds are there to guide people.
Of course.
And at this point, we're here to guide and care for people. So, which is a brilliant idea. So, but tell us about the business. What is the business?
All right. So in essence, the business is just, the adults out there who can't do certain things for themselves due to certain limitations. Those limitations can be age, it could be disabilities, it could be medical conditions, they could be bedbound. So these people still have need. They still need to enjoy high quality of life. So where we come in, we help them and provide our assistance in things they may need in the comfort of their home. Let's say your grandma's at home now, but she's in a wheelchair, so she can't reach certain things at the top to prepare herself a meal. We come in as little as 1 hour a day to as much as 24 hours every single day we're there. And we come in, we help, we leave, we document it.
What inspired you to get into the business?
So,
was it you saw someone doing it and you said, okay, this is something I'm interested in, passionate in, or was it something you always wanted to do? Because like you said, you always wanted to start a business.
Of course. So I did always want to start a business.
Yep.
In fact, that's since I was very young. I always knew that because my dad was a businessman, and my dad started numerous businesses. So I just knew that this is what I'm going to do as well. Anyways, I was working in recruitment at the time, and my dad introduced me to one of his friends. But man, I've met so many of my dad's friends, but you just call them uncle and you call it a day. But this guy, there was just something about him. He's very humble. He was very came across very well. And I asked him, I was like, Uncle, what do you do if you don't mind me asking? So he told me about the business, and as he was explaining it, I was like, oh, it's funny because this is kind of what I'm doing in recruitment, except it's a different industry. Because he's the director of the company. He's recruiting care workers and healthcare assistants to do the work of going into people's homes and XYZ. So I said, Uncle, I'm doing the same thing. I'd love to come down to your office and see it in action. So I went down to his office in Slough, and I was just blown away. I loved the structure of the business. I love how, although they were recruiting in an industry that it felt good. It felt good. You're helping people and you're making money.
How do you start the foundation in terms of the payment, the financial aspect?
I kept going back to my dad's friend / uncle's office, and I kept picking his brain. I kept coming back to him with ideas that, I want to do mine. Our slogan is we're the most advanced in Hertfordshire, because I kept telling my uncle, why is there so much paper? Like, we're in 2018. Can't you streamline this process? Long story short, I said, Uncle, you know what? I'm going to start my own. I'm going to put a business plan together, present it to my dad. How much money do I need to start up? So he broke me down, chopped down the numbers. He basically told me that, look, as long as you set everything up right, you're not going to need to worry about getting business, because it's a national need in the sense that the government will issue contracts out to you, and you're just going to have to be able to deal with those contracts. That sounds like a no-brainer to me. Build a business will come. Anyways, he said I need about 20k to start the business. So it was a case of I need to go to my dad, because I didn't want to go to a bank because of interest. So I decided, I'm going to go to my dad, showed him the business plan, and then it took him a while. It took him maybe like 2 weeks or so. But then he said, of course, he'll give me the loan. We signed the contract, and that's how I got the money to start it.
By the sounds of it, your dad is wealthy enough to be able to give you 20k.
Yeah.
But other people, that their financial CV might not be as good as your dad's. Is there any other opportunities they can go into to be able to still get that funding to start their own business? Or do they need that amount of funding to start a business?
Well, you definitely need funding. Money makes money, they say. But you definitely need funding, but there are other ways you can get funding. What I didn't realize at the time is there's actually a startup funding program that Richard Branson, Virgin, he runs with very low interest, 6% interest, which is not a lot. If you borrow, you can borrow up to 25,000, and at 6% interest, you're paying like what, less than $2,000 back or something like that. I only figured all this out after. And so there are other ways. If you don't have a parent who's willing to give you the funds, there are definitely other routes you can take. You just need to do your homework and search.
Definitely, because obviously it's just important, because not everyone's going to have that financial power to be able to get that amount of funding, and obviously we want people to get involved in businesses as much as possible. You don't want them to be scared about, the money's too much, and then they get turned off. What were some of the struggles you had during the time of the business? Were there a point where you felt like giving up because you didn't have any clients, or give us your insight into that?
Back to my dad giving me the money. He finally gave me the money. We signed the contract. We agreed on the time I'd pay him back, which is still coming. It's not till 2022. The money was in my account a few days later, and I hit the ground running. I bought an office, so many subscription, all the flashy things that you think you need in a business, plants, all the aesthetic things that don't really result in anything tangible. It's just it's vanity. That was a rookie mistake of mine, because I didn't have any money coming in. I didn't have £1 come into my bank account till about 18 months. So that's just money coming out every day, every month, and I'm making nothing. But it doesn't hit me because obviously I haven't worked for the money. So you just see it's just a number going down. I didn't feel it at the time, and until it started to get really small. Then I go back to my dad. Dad, look. And the reason I wasn't making any money was because I was unaware the license was going to take a year. So that license took over 12 months. I got it in February, and I applied in February the year before. So without a license, you can't operate. So I had all these business expenses, and I can't start. I was struggling a lot. I had to get a job. I was working as a carer. I was working as a bartender, just to stop that money going down. I was just putting it all back into the business, and I just had to kind of slow the crash. Fast forward, We got a license in February. I go to the NHS, I go to the local council, say, look, now I have my license, give me some business, let me start working. And they tell me, oh, well, in this borough, you need at least 10 clients. Bear in mind that my mentor didn't tell me that, because in his borough it's different. Another struggle. How am I going to get clients? This whole business has been based off the contract that you said you would give me. What am I going to do now? Long story short, I could have sat there and complained, but I had to find another way. Private clients. How am I going to get private clients? Marketing. What did I study in uni? Marketing. There we go. It's starting to tie up a little bit. I start doing some Google marketing, different campaigns, pushing for 6 months of nothing. I finally get that phone call that changed everything. First client. Went and saw her, signed it the next day, started. It was small, but it was the breath of fresh air I needed. I finally, at the end of that month, I finally saw some positive, something green in my bank statement of money coming in. That to me blew my mind. What a journey, man.
What a journey. Wow, even I'm amazed by that. Especially to keep going, especially after that 6 months of getting nothing.
Yeah.
And it only takes one phone call to change your life. What can give you that extra motivation? And how can people find that motivation within them to keep going, even though times might be difficult?
I mean, I would say, you know, I'm the type of person that I think quite highly of myself, and I think I can achieve things that maybe I'm not at the level where I should be achieving those things. Me taking out a 25k loan from my father without knowing that I could succeed in it, I put myself in a seat where I had no other option. It's like jumping off a building. You're either gonna fly or you're gonna die. Choice is yours. Look, I was falling head first. I didn't have a choice but to succeed. That's my motivation. Every night I'm thinking, that number's in my head. Every pound I make, I put aside for that. I just want to pay it off. And I know part of me probably wants my dad to make my dad proud, because he's had successful businesses, and the part of me wants to be like my dad. One of my big role models, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. You know, he said something in an interview. He's like, he loves it. He loves the pressure. He shoots better when the clock's going down. There are just some people who thrive off pressure. It's a mentality thing, and I like to think I have that mentality, and that's where I find my motivation mostly. Looking
back at the journey you've had,
yeah.
How can you, especially in terms of this business, what are you proud of?
So I'd say with this business, there are two main things I'm most proud of. Actually, three main things. The first one would be when I completed it's an MVQ level 5 in health and social care. So it's equivalent to a master's in social care. So I completed that last month, actually. So, you know, when I wanted to get into this, they kept telling me, you know, you only have a business degree. Why do you think you can do this? You know, people have MVQ level 5s. This course can take you, you know, 2-3 years to complete. This, that. How are you going to do it and run the business? You know, there were just so many naysayers saying, you know, you need to do your MVQ first and then come back. And I'm saying, look, I just borrowed this money from my dad and I have all this money coming out. I need it now. Don't worry, just sign me up, I'll do it. Long story short, I finally got past it, and here I am today, still running the business, and I've just completed it. I did them simultaneously. The second accomplishment is breaking even, you know, financial negatives and losing money. To be able to say in February, for the first month, we made money. You know, we covered our expenses and you have some profit. That was refreshing because I no longer feel like I'm on a sinking ship. We're finally sailing. Fast forward, we're making 5 figures every month, and it's a point where if I really wanted to, I could pay back what I borrowed from my dad. So the third one would be, I won a contract with the NHS.
Okay, fantastic.
And you know, even my mentor was telling me like, look, it's not easy to win a contract with the NHS because they don't take anyone. Like, you need to kind of surprise them. He doesn't have a contract with the NHS. He has one with his local council, but not with the NHS. So I don't know how. I leave that one to God.
Just the final part as well, what is your advice for people looking to start a business? Do they need mentors, or what kind of advice would you give them?
I'd say you definitely need mentors. Seek mentors in anyone. Anyone doing what you want to do. And what I can say is, you know, a lot of my mentors are in their mid-50s. You know, I hang around with them a lot. You know, we go to the casino. I became like their friend. So one thing I can say with mentors, when dealing with mentors, is respect their time. Don't waste their time. Go into there knowing what you want and show them what you've done, and then ask for them to fill in the gaps. I would always go to my mentor. I tell him, look, here's what I've done. I think it's right, but have a look. Let me know where you think it's wrong, and I'll go and I'll bring it back to you again when I've made your amendments. That's the kind of proactivity that mentors like. If anyone's looking for a mentor, hit me up.
This is something big, because how many people that do you know that actually have a contract with NHS? Not many. Look at the amount of struggles he's been through. Look at the journey. And for him to be able to come back and still keep on going and still learning, and don't be scared to learn as well. Don't be saying because someone's older than you, someone's younger than you. Be willing, be open to learn. It's a case of developing yourself and making yourself better. And I've seen it in my way of saying, is your CV. This is your CV. And you need to make your CV better. And one of the ways by making it better is by learning something new. It doesn't matter what you go into, whether care, whatever business you're looking to go into, there are going to be challenges. But don't say because of their challenges, you give up and you do what everyone else do and just say, you know what, it's not for you. You keep pushing, you keep learning. And if you're ready to learn, people are there to assist you, to help you out. So, you know what, that's enough for today. Keep sharing these videos. We're here to inspire people. It's your boy, Mr. CV. I'm done for today.
Don't forget, go on Instagram, New Shepherd Care, no spaces. Follow, like our pictures.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in.
Thank
you
you
for having me, Mr. CV, the one and only.